Hi everyone, this is Deborah Dogba. Welcome to Afro Swag Media and Magazine. And today I have Lucrece here. I'm going to let her introduce herself.
Yes. Hi, everybody. My name is Lucrece Bundy, or Lucrece if you speak French. And I am an adoption attorney here in Omaha, Nebraska. I am married, been married for almost 13 years, and I have three little boys.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So, Lucrece, tell me what got you into the adoption field as an attorney?
Yeah. So, when I was a little girl, I grew up in Benin, West Africa. That's where I'm from. I'm from Benin. And ever since I was a little girl, I always wanted to have kids get off the streets. My heart would always break when I would see kids running around with no family. And it wasn't just in Africa. My dream was always to make sure that every single child would always have a family to grow up in. So when I moved to America and went to college, it seemed obvious to kind of, become a lawyer because I could advocate for children and and to start doing adoptions.
That's very neat, and I commend you on doing that. So, talking about the African culture, when we talk about adoption, that means there is a conception issue or problem somewhere, and our culture is viewed as something shameful, and people even don't think about adoption as an option. Given your experience, what have you seen?
Yeah. So there is actually a lot of different types of adoptions. A lot of people don't know that. There's international adoptions, which is when you're adopting a child out of the country. There
Mm-hmm.
is private adoptions. That's when, a woman is pregnant and she doesn't think she can take care of her baby. And so she says, I want a family to take my baby and take care of the
Mm-hmm.
baby. There's also step parent adoptions,
Mm-hmm.
right? That's when you have blended families and the dad or the mom adopts the other spouse's child. So there's a lot of, and there's foster care adoptions, right? So
Mm-hmm.
there's different ways that you can do adoptions. But I have seen mostly step parent adoptions. I make it just because we're in Nebraska, and
Mm-hmm.
that's just what a lot of people do.
Mm-hmm.
But I haven't seen a lot of the African community come in and do an adoption or give up their child for adoption because we just don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
You just don't give up your baby for adoption. But yeah,
So, what is adoption? Explain what adoption is, and then we'll talk about the process.
right. Okay. So adoption is when one parent's legal rights are terminated in the courts and another person steps in and now becomes the legal father or mother for that child. That's really what an adoption is. The process can look so many different ways depending on the type of adoption that you're doing. So, for example, if you're doing an international adoption, let's say you want to adopt a child out of Benin, like me and my husband have thought about doing something like that. We would have to go through an international adoption agency, and then they would then connect us with a place in Benin or another African country to do the adoption. So the process is very different depending on the type of adoption you're doing.
It's very interesting that you said it has to do with some type of um, parental right termination.
Mm-hmm.
It just clicks in my mind, even if there is no CPS involved on, I mean, no abuse or neglect involved, even if it's by choice, there's got to be that termination of rights.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, very interesting. So, again, talking about African and Africa culture,
Mm-hmm.
February is the Black History Month.
Mm-hmm.
What is your take on that?
I love that February is the month where they're celebrating the African culture. I love it. I have been following Omaha Public Schools' page on Facebook, and for the month of February, they've actually been serving the kids different types of African foods every week. And I just think that's amazing that they're actually serving the kids
Mm-hmm.
African food. And I love the positivity around the month and how they're highlighting these different cultures. It's exposing the kids to other cultures. So I love, 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 love that this month is African Heritage Month,
Mm-hmm.
Black History Month. I love it.
So tell me, you've been practicing for a while now, 3.5 years, you said.
Yes.
What is it like being an entrepreneur?
Oh man. It's you have to have tough skin to be an entrepreneur, because you are going in there, you're finding your own clients, you're trying to grow your business, and you're saying, I'm not going to work 8 to 5, I'm going to have my own business. So it takes a lot of guts and a lot of hard work to be an entrepreneur. But I would not trade it for anything. My husband and I both are business owners, and we love the flexibility that he provides to us. For us to work for a family, for our kids. And so even though it's hard because you're managing business and you have to be the business person and the accounting person and the invoice person and all these other people, I wouldn't trade it for anything else. I love it.
So when you are going to, obviously, when you are in law school, obviously you thought that you're going to have your own practice. Have you, I mean, have you ever been in corporate America?
No, actually, when I was in law school, I was so looking forward to having an adoption class, because I was all excited I'm going to do adoptions, I'm going to do adoptions. Well, they had like the entire semester, I took a family law class this semester, and only one class out of the whole semester dealt with adoptions. So actually, when I talked to my professor about doing adoptions, she told me there's no money in adoptions. Like, you just do family law, do divorces, you'll make money that way. But there's no money in adoptions. So I would have loved to work with a firm that allowed me to do adoptions, but I actually found that there are no firms in Nebraska that do that.
Oh, wow.
So that's why I decided to open up my own law practice and do adoptions.
So you went straight into entrepreneurship.
Well, yes. I actually stayed home with my babies for a few years after I was done with law school. And then when my third son was born in 2016, then I decided, okay, I think I'm ready to get in the workplace and
So,
do it.
as an entrepreneur, what is the biggest challenge that you've had?
Well, I would say the biggest challenge is getting people in the door and getting my name out there and letting people know, hey, to do an adoption, you actually need an attorney who knows what they're doing. So the education piece, I'm finding, has been the biggest hurdle. But once people found me and came in, then it made sense, and I'm able to help them. But it's people think adoptions, I should go to a family law attorney. They don't think an adoption attorney. So it's really that education piece that's been the hardest part.
So do you network a lot?
I do network a lot. I do. So I have a lot of other African ladies who work in the juvenile court system. So they work with foster care kids, and I work in juvenile court as well. So I know a lot of African ladies, and we connect that way and give each other cases. And other family law attorneys that I know, and they know that I do adoptions, so they'll send adoptions to me, or I send them the divorce cases. But yeah, other than that, it's just my church community, networking, and letting them know that this is what I do, and yeah.
Do you use social media as well?
I do. Yes, I'm on Facebook.
Okay.
I'm starting a YouTube channel. It's been in the works, but I will be on YouTube here soon. But I've really been focusing on Facebook and growing that page. Yeah.
So what do you think about Afro Swag Media and Magazine?
I think it's amazing. So I went on your page. When I first heard about it, I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't know there was something like this, So I went up there and I looked at all these different entrepreneurs, and I just thought, this is amazing. There are so many of us from Africa who are doing the business thing, and I want to meet more people like that. I didn't know there were so many people just here in Omaha who are owning their own business and who are doing so well. So I love it. I love what you're doing.
Thank you so much for that feedback. last word, anything that you want to add?
Well, I would just say if you guys want a way to contact me,
Mm-hmm.
you can go on my Facebook page. It's called Nebraska Adoption Lawyer. So just go on there and send me a PM and I'll reply back to you.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can go on my website. It's lbundylaw.com. So,
And
yeah.
we'll put it on the screen so everybody can see it.
Yeah.
And like she said, the process shouldn't be that complicated if you're using the right services, and
Yes.
she is here to help. And for my African community, for the viewers, adoption can be a very good option for you. If you need it, don't hesitate to contact Lucrece. She is available, and she will be she'll be able to help you with your adoption needs.
Yes.
Thank you for watching Afro Swag Media and Magazine. Bye bye.